Good now, everybody, and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show.
Good morning, the Rise Up Morning Show.
That's right, baby. The Rise Up Morning Show, your place for helpful news, commentary, answers to your crypto questions. My name is Evan. His name is Alex. And together, we're holding the fort down while Will does his beauty routine and I'm sure some other things. If you've never seen our faces before, then you're in the right place to learn about crypto. We're here Monday through Thursday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can check out all the free resources related to our show, like our newsletter, our YouTube, where all these streams go to live forever after they air, and of course the Rise Up Discord community, discord.gg/rise up. It's a great place where the show lives 24/7, and the only thing missing is you. If you've got a crypto question, let us know. Alex, already they're coming in hot, and I think this is a great topic for the cold open. How have you heard, or what have you heard about the new Bitcoin documentary that supposedly is releasing the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto? Have you heard about this yet?
Yeah, pretty sure they posit that a guy who's currently shilling meme coins on Twitter is the real Satoshi. So I don't know about that one.
Whoa. Peter Todd is currently shilling meme coins on Twitter?
Yeah, here, let's pull him up here.
Pull him up. Okay, for people who don't know, HBO is releasing a film today, and it doesn't solve the mystery in the sense that it gets somebody to admit that they are Satoshi Nakamoto. But it does present a compelling case, according to the filmmakers, that this fellow, Peter Todd, strike that, reverse it. I guess he is a fellow. Peter Todd, he's a Bitcoin OG. Mm-hmm. He was a core community member. He's communicated with Satoshi, and he's been on the record as saying, I am Satoshi, but kind of like the same way we would say, I am one of the Faceless Many. You know what I mean? Like, it's a statement of solidarity. It's not a statement of identity personally, and has since denied the claim. I don't know. I think a lot of people in the community were shocked because, according to Polymarket, bets were on that the documentary would peg Len Sassaman, another former Bitcoin insider contributor to the code, who committed suicide. Some people speculate because he wanted to maintain his privacy. But his partner has denied it. He has denied it. So we don't really know. I haven't seen the documentary, and I think we have HBO. So maybe we'll watch it, have a little watch party. What are you thinking about this? And is that the guy shilling meme coins?
I'm trying to find the post. Somebody quoted him as reposting a meme coin a while ago, but he's prolific. So it's Your Mom is the name of the meme coin. He's not shilling it. He's just reposting people talking about it. I do like this one post from Peter, though, where let me come on. He says, so Craig Wright has come out saying that HBO's documentary is bullshit. On this, I think we should take him at his word. After all, Craig Wright is the world's foremost leading expert on not being Satoshi.
Shots fired at Craig Wright. Oh, my God.
I mean, Peter Todd and Craig Wright, two people who aren't Satoshi.
In the same room together, yeah.
Look at that.
That's hilarious. Craig Wright. Poor Craig Wright. I mean, I say poor Craig Wright. I think he got exactly what he deserved. I feel like that's as much a part of a blockchain history as the Bitcoin white paper, that court-ordered document where they were like, you may no longer say that you are Satoshi.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't get why. Like, who cares?
Who cares? It's a beautiful mystery.
Someone large was talking, not physically, just spiritually, was saying yesterday on Twitter that, the identity of Satoshi is literally the least interesting thing about Bitcoin. And I completely agree with that. I mean, I don't know. I've heard very bad reviews of the Bitcoin documentary. I'd be curious if anyone has seen it that could offer their own opinion if they thought it was good. I haven't seen it yet. I probably will. I have a couple of those crypto related whatever movies that I like should watch that I haven't, because it's just hard.
It is hard.
I don't know. I haven't found the time to do it, but I don't know. I don't care.
The Chog asked, do you think they were trying to prove it to create a pump? And my answer is no. I don't think so. I think Bitcoin is creating its own pump, more or less. I think if somebody really needs the price to move a couple $1,000s right now, then that would be an interesting way to do it. To spend your time like making a feature film that probably not a lot of people will see, although more people will see it since it's on HBO. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not what I would personally do. I think they're more effective.
Will is more likely to be Satoshi than both of those people.
or to move the Bitcoin market. Mr. Buying big into Aerodrome over there.
You want to talk
thanks
about
for the cowboy hats, man.
Talk about someone who's making an effort to move the market. Old Larry Fink is just on TV, just pushing. I mean, there's a guy who can move a market, not an HBO documentary. Well, actually, before I say that so definitively, did the market move?
Did the market move?
It sure didn't. It sure didn't. So
Ace and Morty is in the comments saying Trump is Satoshi. Believe me.
Larry, who had Larry Fink becoming the biggest shill? Although it's only a matter of time before he's like, wait, I was wrong. And then he's like, oh, no, never mind. I was right.
Right. Absolutely. Tech CEO says, my uncle is Satoshi. Man, I thought you looked a little bit Japanese and also anonymous. Like when I look at Tech CEO's face, it's just a little bit blurry.
We are all Satoshi.
Yeah. We are all Satoshi. You remember that conference sticker that was going around for a while, and it was I think it's a DAO. I can't remember what they're called, but their stickers were Satoshi is female. And it was just like a, women belong in blockchain too sort of statement. And I thought it was really great, really effective. I think I have one of their stickers on an old conference pass somewhere.
I mean, if I was going to make any kind of a speculation about the identity of Satoshi, I would probably say that it's more than likely a group of people. There's more than likely not one individual specific dude or dudette. It's probably a group.
I think so too.
I like to think that, at least.
I do too. And I like the ethos of I am Satoshi. We are Satoshi. You are Satoshi. It's a movement. It's bigger than one person. And that's exactly the way it should be. If you have a crypto question, feel free to leave it in the comments here. I would ask, we seem to have a lot of commercials lately. The only commercials on this show are coming from the platform, coming from our sponsors or sponsors to be, and we'll always disclose them. If you feel the need to sell somebody something in the comments, I would ask you instead to just hold on. Just hold on. We're trying to keep the comments a sale-free zone. We do have a Shill Yourself channel in our Discord server, which you can join by visiting discord.gg/riseup. And I do want to make sort of a commercial that's for a company that could be a sponsor, but is not. I said this to the folks who are backstage on TikTok. But Ledger just came out with a new program for their affiliates. We're Ledger affiliates, which is like Sponsor Junior. You know what I mean? Like, we're hoping to build a deeper relationship with Ledger. But for now, we're Ledger affiliates. And they just sent an email. So we'll pass this on to you guys, where if you buy a Ledger device, you can earn Bitcoin rewards. If you don't have cold storage yet, this is a good opportunity to do it. I'm going to post the link in the Discord server or here if you're on TikTok. If you buy a Nano S, you're going to get $20 in Bitcoin. If you buy a Nano X, you're going to get $30 in Bitcoin. And if you buy their new Stacks device, it's got like a touch screen, almost like a smartphone would. You're going to get $50 in Bitcoin. And I don't think they've changed the price on any of their devices. It's just like, now is a good time to buy. And I got the email right before the show. And I bet Will got it too. And, we'll figure out a way to get it in there. It'll go into the Discord, discord.gg/riseup. And the other thing that's in the Discord is right now, for the month of October, we're doing free live classes. And Alex, we've only got like 4 slots left for this one. Anybody anywhere could purchase a recording for as low as $6. But if you want to take the class for free, there's only 15 spots because we want to make sure that everybody gets personal attention. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then you can check that out at the links in our Discord or just find it at the riseupmorningshow.com. We do all our classes through Eventbrite. Super easy to register, sign up with an email. The topic for this Sunday is how to stop losing money, the most common scams in crypto, and how you can avoid them. Last week's topic was Web3 101. We walked through what a wallet actually is, how you can install one. We did the example of Coinbase wallet. We talked through how to buy, sell, send, receive crypto, and cash it out, turn it back into dollar bills safely. So if you want a recording, you can catch that also at the Eventbrite link, also in our Discord, also at the riseupmorningshow.com. And of course, you can buy the mug there too. Coffee tastes sweeter. You look better when you're drinking from a Rise Up Morning Show mug.
It's true. Can confirm. Mine's in the dishwasher right now, and coffee's just not the
I
same
was thinking
today.
you didn't look as good today. Frankly,
That's what it is. That's what it is. Someone asked, when do you have to file taxes for 2024? Is it October 15th? So no, it's not. Well, it could be, but next year. So in the United States, at least, tax day is what? April something. I haven't filed my taxes in April.
Yeah, it's in April. Is the usual day.
Is the usual day. However, in the United States, for individual taxes, it is completely legal to file a request for an extension. I've never known anybody to get theirs rejected, which pushes it back to October, which is what I do every single year. I just did mine 2 weeks ago.
I was thinking about, I still have questions coming about crypto taxes all the time. I was thinking about going live Friday morning, like not this slot, but maybe, an hour or two from now to do my taxes. I also filed an extension. I was thinking about just live streaming it because people want to know what is the Coinly process like, and I could show folks, here's how you connect.
There you go.
So if that's something that you'd be interested in, definitely let me know. I will post it. If I do it, I'll put it on the YouTube channel, try and clean it up a bit. And that'll be, just something we can do. We can hang out for free and do our taxes. So looking forward to it.
Sounds thrilling.
Yeah,
Riveting.
Exactly. Somebody also asked about when you need cold storage. Alex, what would you say? Because the Chog says, I feel like it makes things harder to trade if you want to get rid of stuff fast. And I completely agree. So what do you use cold storage for? When's it time to get a cold storage wallet?
I use cold storage for stuff that I'm not trading.
Okay.
It's that simple. However, it really depends on the time frame of your trades. If you're trading on a weekly basis, you buy and sell some stuff once a week or, a couple times a month or something like that. Cold storage is probably the way to go as well, just because it's safer and it's more secure. And it really only seems more intimidating if you're not used to using it. But if you've used a wallet before, I think it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty intuitive. But again, it really depends on your time frame. If I was doing it every day, I wouldn't, but I have a pile of different wallets, and my cold storage is really just for Bitcoin. That's just what Bitcoin lives in there. I do a regular deposit whenever I get some, I let it stack up for a little tiny bit on my exchanges or my wherever I'm buying it from, and then go ahead and send it over. But if I'm, like trying to swing trade some stuff or do whatever, and it's more often than like a week or every other week, I'm just using a hot wallet.
Yeah. My rule of thumb is like, if it's a short-term hold in the sense that I'm not actively trading it like today, if it's not staked, if it's not locked up in a trade that's waiting to execute, if it's being held for less than a month in some cases, I will keep it in a hot wallet. For example, I have a system for where I buy Bitcoin on River. I like to touch that every month. I feel like I can trust River well enough. I'm not going to be so sad and I don't want to log in every single day. But every month feels like a good practice for me to say, hey, bought this Bitcoin, I'm going to move it to cold storage. I try to do it the same time every month so I don't forget, so that nothing happens weird or changes. If I'm swing trading something like Alex is talking about, like I currently have some Solana in a social wallet too that I will swing trade back and forth. But if it's going to be more than, that's usually my threshold, is if it's more than a month, or if it's long enough that I've forgotten about it, and I plan to hold it, especially if I plan to hold an asset and I'm just accumulating for like 6 months, a year, then I move it to cold storage. I am not using my ledger to trade crypto every day. I don't trade crypto every single day anyway. But if I was, I wouldn't be using my ledger to do it. I'd be using my ledger to hold on to my profits. Or like, I don't know, if I had Bitcoin for retirement, that's where it would go. And that's one of the videos I need to make. I've been telling people I'll make. Alex, do you have a video where you demonstrate what it's like to send a transaction to your cold storage wallet or to send one back to an exchange wallet or something like that? Because if not, you should make one too. But I'm going to make one of those videos demonstrating what it looks like to go from an exchange wallet to a hot wallet that's like my holding wallet, and then to a ledger and back.
Yeah, no, I don't, but that would be a good one.
I get that question a lot. And I always tell people it's on YouTube, and honestly, the YouTube videos are probably crisper, but I think, people like to learn from us too. So I'm going to do one.
Just for the record, if you don't have experience with a cold storage device or a wallet yet, it sounds way more intimidating than it is. If you can use MetaMask, you can use a cold storage wallet. When you're sending a transaction, when you're sending some cryptocurrency to a cold wallet, you're not doing anything different than sending it to a MetaMask. It's, you get an address, you hit send, you enter that address, and you send the crypto, and then it goes there. And then if you want to pull something out, you just have to go through the process to open your cold wallet. For me, I use a Trezor. I have a specific laptop that it goes to. It doesn't get connected to anything else just because I'm more paranoid. And that laptop never leaves my house, all that good stuff. I just plug it in. There's a little PIN code on the screen. Little PIN code pops up. Put in the PIN, and I have a program on the laptop that's the Trezor desktop, or Trezor Suite, I think it's called, because we're fancy. And it just opens a wallet interface that looks very similar to pretty much, any other dashboard really. And there's all the crypto. And if I want to send, I just click the Bitcoin, hit send, enter an address, boom. The process of moving it off of this to something else, like if I wanted to sell it and I wanted to send it to a Coinbase exchange or something like that, it takes, maybe an extra 1 minute to get into this and to initiate the transaction versus, like clicking up here on my web browser extensions tab and popping open a Phantom or a MetaMask or something like that.
And does Trezor have the same kind of setup that Ledger does, where they've got the app but they integrate with other apps too? Like Ledger now integrates with MetaMask in such a way that you don't have to compromise your wallet, but you can interface with the assets there in the same way that you can use Ledger Live to like prepare a transaction. Now you can use MetaMask to send a transaction to your Ledger device. That's
cool. I not that I know of. At least I've never looked.
Okay.
But now that you mention it, I will poke around, because I have not. I'll be honest. I haven't opened this thing to like withdraw anything in probably 2 years. I just have the address saved, and every month or so I send a little bit more Bitcoin over there. That's pretty much all I do. But again, I'm like, if you really like peel back the layers on me as a crypto investor and a buyer, I'm pretty boring. I buy Bitcoin, I buy ETH, I buy Sol when it makes sense, and that's it.
We had another question, Alex, about wallets. What are some examples of hot wallets? And I'm glad to defer to you, except I just want to get a definition out of the way, which is a hot wallet is so called because it is connected to the internet. The same way that if your electrical device, your toaster, your oven was plugged in, exposed to power, it would be hot, high voltage electricity kind of thing. A hot wallet lives online. Your private key lives online. Because remember, your wallet is just an interface for your keys. It doesn't physically hold crypto. It holds your encrypted private key that the blockchain recognizes as your unique address that is entitled to send, spend, receive your assets. A cold wallet, by comparison, is offline. Your private key is on a device that doesn't touch the internet. That's what makes it cold. It makes it safer. There's less surface area. There's less opportunity for a hacker to get that information that represents your key. Sometimes hot wallets are called software wallets. Sometimes cold wallets are called hardware wallets. Alex, what are some of the best examples we like of hot wallets? And what would you add?
You got, there's so many. Phantom, MetaMask, the Coinbase wallet, Backpack,
Trust, Rainbow.
Pretty sure there's one named after a crustacean.
Oh, I'm sure yeah, Lobster, I think.
That's the one.
And some of these wallets, they are built for specific purposes. Like, for example, Phoenix
Exodus
is a hot wallet. It's a Lightning wallet meant to extend Bitcoin, to make your Bitcoin transactions faster and cheaper. MetaMask is more like a general purpose wallet. It's meant to connect to lots of different blockchains. And you might find that, I don't know, you want to get an obscure cryptocurrency on a weird network or play a blockchain game, and you need to have like this company's proprietary wallet. I don't know about you, Alex, but I kind of think that's going to be an interesting. I'm curious to see how the architecture of our space develops in the future, because I can see a world where, these on-chain games, for example, are going to want to have a proprietary built-in wallet.
Oh,
We're going to
talk about the games because we've got some big.
Well, and that was going to be my question to you was, hey, I know we just got this new game. What's it look like under the hood in terms of how have they brought it on chain? How are they integrating that experience? You just want to go there right now because it might be a good example. We answered the hot wallet question.
Yeah, we can head over there. Someone asked what the best wallet for soul staking was. I personally use Phantom. I have used Soulflare as well, and I think I'm just too used to Phantom. I didn't have a single issue with Soulflare. I just like Phantom. And honestly, when they're all this similar, it is as superficial for me as I like the branding better. I like the way it looks. I like the UI of Phantom better. I've never had a single reason to use anything other than Phantom, to be honest.
While you're pulling this up, Alex,
not sponsored, but it frickin' should be Phantom.
Can I just draw your attention to something that's happening in the comments that's absolutely sending me? I have been following this for at least 8 replies, and I am no closer to understanding the truth, but it sounds like Mel might have proposed to Travis for a Bitcoin or something like that, or vice versa. And it sounds like Tech CEO is gonna sponsor the wedding, and also maybe Chainlink. So congratulations, Mazel Tov. Hallelujah, and may you have many happy years in love. Can
I be the flower girl?
Can Alex be the flower girl, and can we send mugs for the guests to have on their table?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we have such a fun chat. So thank you for making the chat fun. If you have a crypto question, your question is welcome in the chat. If it won't fit in the chat, don't forget you can drop it at the riseupmorningshow.com, discord.gg/riseup. The Discord server is there. It's easy to find. And if you're one of our friends on the show, then you can also use this feature here on TikTok to tap the little button below and call in, request like a radio show. It looks like a little pink person and a little blue person. If we don't know you, we're not going to welcome you up, just because we got to keep the audience safe. If you're watching on YouTube and you're like, wow, I'd like to call into their radio show, then check us out over on TikTok. You can find all the links for our only official profiles at theriseupmorningshow.com. Now, Alex, I'm gonna see if I can't. You're doing a screen share, so I'm gonna see if I can't sacrifice myself for your screen share right here. It's kind of small on my video.
We've got an exciting thing to cover here. It's kind of a big deal.
Alex, everything we cover is a big deal.
It's true. Everything is a big deal.
Okay, so I'm looking at your Twitter page.
Yes.
Tell me what I'm looking at. I'm just going to yield it to you and let folks follow you along.
All right. So right here on TikTok, or right here if you're everywhere else, I've got up a tweet from my friend Sam Stefanina, who, if you're not following Sam on X and you are in any kind of way interested in Web3, you're doing it wrong. I cannot recommend a better person on that platform to follow than Sam. So this is a great overview of Off the Grid, which is a battle royale with some interesting features that opened 24/7 yesterday. It's been out for a little while, but in limited bursts and closed and open alphas, betas, all that sort of stuff. Off the Grid is pretty anticipated. It is a game that you can go bookmark on Xbox right now, which I have done, or you can download it and play it out of the Epic Game Store, which I've also done, and which my kid also did, and it's really good. It's a battle royale. You drop in.
What is a battle royale? Like a Halo style game?
Oh, Evan, sweet Evan.
I just don't know the terms, man.
Fortnite is a battle royale. Probably the more popular. PUBG is a battle royale. You essentially have a fixed group of people. You drop into an arena out of a parachute in of some sort. You load in with nothing and you scavenge gear and weapons from chests located around the map, and you battle until there is one person remaining.
Got it. Okay.
And there's some pretty interesting features about this one. This is a great write-up. Sam hits all the big stuff. The thing that I really wanted to cover, just to put in perspective how big of a deal this is. Yesterday, for pretty much the entire day, you had the biggest streamers in the video game world streaming this. Ninja was streaming, Scrump was streaming, Tim the Tatman was streaming, that idiot with the mustache was streaming. There was a ton. Tens of thousands of people were watching these humongous gamers play Off the Grid all day. And then, of course, you've got all of the Web3 game streamers who were playing this and streaming it all day. Cairo, Jesus Martinez, Sam, Icy, who will be here tonight for the Rise Up After Dark show, and I'm very excited to get his take about it. This is one of those things that people talk about. Like when you're talking about Web3 gaming getting some sort of adoption, everyone who plays games like this was playing Off the Grid yesterday. Not a single one of them had to do anything blockchain related to do it.
Wow.
To be very honest with you, I don't even know the full extent of all of the Web3-ness of this. It's just a really good game that you can open and download and play for free with an Epic account. I am very excited. I don't really play on PC very much. I'm very excited to get it on Xbox when I can. I don't know the date on that, but soonish.
Yeah, okay. So Icy was streaming it, you said, yeah? Or he's also seen it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So then tonight he's going to have more feedback. I haven't seen the gameplay for it.
We're bringing Icy. So just real quick, quick plug. For Rise Up After Dark tonight, we are going to go over, probably going to hit as many gaming altcoins as we can, because Icy is just, there are not very many people who are more informed or just better people to talk about Web3 gaming, especially with regards to who's doing what, which communities are, what they seem on the surface, someone who has a way more than superficial understanding of that niche. And actually, I was just talking to him yesterday. He was even saying, like, dude, at this point, like, there are so many games coming out that it's impossible to cover all of them. And he's going to have to niche down or expand the team, because you used to be able to just be a Web3 game streamer. But now, in the same way that there are no streamers who play all video games, we're getting too many good games for these guys to all cover individually. So
wow,
I'm excited. But if you have any questions about Web3 gaming in general, you want to know about Token 2049, you want to know about Solana Breakpoint, you want to know about all these other conferences, you want to know about Wolves DAO, Icy will be here tonight for the whole stream here on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, on everything. And we need to get him followed on TikTok. He's got enough to join this. He should be able to have video and all that good stuff. But I'm bullying him right now into posting more on TikTok. So we'll hopefully load him up with some fresh followers, because he is a good person to learn.
What's his handle, Alex? Do you have it?
Here on TikTok, it's Web3 Gamer, and the E in gamer is also a 3. So Web3
Gamer
with a. I'll put it down here. I'm going to reply to Jay's comment right here with his handle here on TikTok.
Excellent. And we saw a question about the coin or token that they have. It looks like, Alex, I'm finding here that Guns with a Z is the name of the blockchain platform supporting Gunzilla Games'. That's the company. Not just this off the grid, but maybe other games that they'll build too. The token name apparently is Guns Token, but I'm having trouble finding much more information than that at this time. So let me see if we can't find out about it in terms of. I'd be interested to know what kind of stuff it does for the ecosystem.
Yeah, to be honest, couldn't tell you. That's on my short list of things to talk to Icy about tonight. By the way, if you're on the X stream or the YouTube stream right here, this is Icy's main platform of content creation. All of his stuff. He is prolific. He's extremely active. Really good stuff. It's really hard to find good people to follow over on X. Icy is one of the best. So if you're not over there, this is worth it to peek in and kind of get a little bit of a tap in just for what's happening in Web3 gaming.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I'm excited to learn more and to see it.
Let me see if I can find one last clip for all of us. Yes, from off the grid here, just to kind of give you guys an idea of the quality that we're dealing with. Here we go.
Yeah, you said it was so heavy, right? GPU heavy that it crashed some people's streams.
It is pretty GPU heavy. Yeah, it requires a 3070 or later. However, I think with updated drivers, you can play it on less, because I know Jordan's computer does not have a 3070 in it, and he was playing it just fine last night with a fresh driver update. So I'm not sure exactly where that notice came from, but I have been hearing that it's been crashing some people's stuff just because it's pretty intensive. But this is it. I mean, it's the consensus from these huge streamers who I have heard. Now, the mustachioed moron, of course, is more familiar with Web3 gaming, with the game that he was working on or was affiliated with, Dead Drop. The other ones, though, I've heard them be critical and speculative before. I've seen them be overwhelmingly uninterested in it as a concept, and they were all over this. And it got, to be honest, it got really, really good reviews compared to the way that I've seen people analyze new games. There's some unique features here that we just haven't seen in the Battle Royale style before, and all too often, they're just PUBG copy pastas. And so this is more interesting.
Yeah. Here, hold it on that video for just another second, because I want to let the TikTok people just get a view of what the gameplay looks like before you. So this is a clip from Tim the Tapman's stream yesterday, who's just another really big streamer if you're into that kind of thing. And I mean, it looks, like a pretty expansive, well-developed world. A lot of the features you'd come to expect. None of this, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is you nailed it. This is kind of the new, what to expect. Gone are the days, thank God, that people are, sharing an Unreal 5 rendered trailer, video clip essentially, passing it off as gameplay and just selling you a token with a maybe game someday.
Yeah.
Don't ever. If I can leave you with one thing, don't ever. This is financial advice.
Definitely.
Don't trust those fucking people. My God, what a grift that is. And stuff like this. I mean, Shrapnel is another fantastic game. It's not the same style. They are both shooters, but Shrapnel is an extraction, which is a little bit different play style than Battle Royale. The nuance isn't super important for the context of this, but if you're interested, that's more like Escape from Tarkov. It's Baby Tarkov, whereas this is more like mechanic. This is kind of like I heard it yesterday described as early Warzone meets Apex Legends. Just because there's a lot more kind of tech. One of the cool things you can do is not just upgrade your kit, but you can upgrade your limbs. So like you can find.
I heard
new
about that. I did a
cyborg
search and I saw
arms.
limbs. I
Yeah.
was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Limbs.
Anyway, just wanted to share. Very exciting. If you're into Web3 gaming, I'm a huge fan. It's the ultimate consumer app in my case, and proof of that is the fact that 100,000 people were watching live streams of Off the Grid yesterday.
Yeah, not
enjoying
an
it.
insignificant amount.
Yeah, no, a massive. I mean, you had 20, 30,000 people in single streams watching this yesterday.
Wow.
So Web3 gaming, as Sam would say, is inevitable.
As Alex would say. Oh, sorry for the terrible delay.
Anyway.
Oh, man. Cool.
So, like I said, come back, see us tonight. If you have any Web3 gaming questions, write them down, drop them in the Discord. If you're not going to be here, I will get them answered for you, and I will update you and let you know. And of course, the entire recording of tonight's stream will be available after the fact on both YouTube and Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll certainly have more content about it, so don't hesitate to ask.
I would, just for the record, if there is like a tradable, mass buyable token for Off the Grid, I would be careful, because right now, again, this is one of those things. This has been hyped for a while, and now it's out. I haven't looked at it. But buy the rumor, sell the news is a thing. Again, apparently I have to give an extra disclaimer when I say stuff like this now, because everyone's butt mad about me making a Sui video the other day. I'm not saying don't buy it. If you want to buy it, full send. You do you. I don't care. But think about it and be careful, because right now, after these streams yesterday, there's a tremendous amount of new attention on it, including people who have never bought before, have no clue what they're doing, and people who have been in it for a very long time waiting for this to happen so that they can probably take profit based on the hype and the success of the open being in front of more people and all that good stuff. So just take a breath and think about it before you ape into something.
Yeah, and just for more context about the kind of load that might come crashing down on you if you buy in when it becomes public, they raised $30 million earlier this year. So that's $30 million that are looking to find a place to grow and go. So almost certainly, if it's not available to just buy publicly yet, when it becomes available to buy publicly, there's going to be a lot of sell pressure, and you will become the exit liquidity for that. So don't hesitate to wait and see what it does before you. And also, I would suspect with a token like this, depending on how they do it, I hope they do it in a smart way. I wouldn't be surprised if you have to earn it, or if there are parameters for how you can buy it, for who can buy it, how much they can buy. If it's just a speculative token, that would undermine its use in the game, almost certainly. And this looks like a thoughtfully made game, and a thoughtfully integrated game in terms of like how blockchain enables it. So I would be kind of shocked if they did something like that. So we'll see. Alex, do you see, to change the topic a little bit, Kai, it's good to see you too. And you just dropped a link to this site that I've not seen before. I'm really wary about these AI assisted tools. This is called Krill, like the thing that whale eat, with a KRYLL.io. And it claims to be like your AI assisted, crypto navigating dashboard. It kind of looks like a different version of Crypto Snapshot, or like what Blockchain Boy and his folks are trying to build in terms of like an all-in-one aggregator that is AI assisted. I don't know if they have a token or anything like that. It looks like they do, because I see a $ something.
Evan, put a pin in that really quick, just because I don't want to forget this. I'm not derailing you. Just
no.
Let it come back to the AI thing after this, because I talked to my dad yesterday and I had some interesting insights that I wanted to share about this whole thing.
I knew you would.
But just help me remember, because I will forget. So
yeah.
Please continue.
Oh. Well, honestly,
Go.
What I wanted to know was, first, had you heard about it? And second, had anybody in the audience heard about it? And then the story I want to go to next is, we had a question about something I didn't hear, which is about the U.S. selling some Bitcoin. And someone in our audience was concerned, and I think we can speak to that. But that's basically my question is, have you heard of this? AI platforms, they're all over the place, and we're going to talk about it this Sunday, because that's one of the most common scams I see in crypto. Is there's a new AI tool, it's going to trade for you, help you earn passive income. This doesn't seem like that. It seems more like an educational dashboard, make you a smarter, better trader sort of thing. It doesn't look like a scam. So I always like to ask about it.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think it's a good topic to cover. And Robert, you're not. No one should accuse you of fudding anything for asking a question like that. I would say that it's cause for concern in the short term because we've seen stuff like this affect the markets negatively in the short term before. However, I will continue to make the claim that large governments offloading Bitcoin is a good thing for Bitcoin overall and in the best interest of the long-term survivability and viability of that ecosystem. I do not believe that governments hoarding it is a good thing.
Well, and so let's come to it in a second and give it some more context so we can really put this fear at rest, or at least appropriately address it. But Kai says that this platform has been operating since 2017. So we're big fans, obviously, of people who've been building through multiple cycles, adding to what they're doing. I'm potentially very bullish on that kind of a thing. You can acquire their token to do, I don't know why you need their token. They say it has utility to facilitate access to the platform's suite of advanced crypto trading and analysis tools, community engagement, drive the growth and development. I don't know. I'm always wary of anybody who's got their own, you know how we feel about this, but I like what some of these tools sound like. First of all, they have multi-chain analysis tools. A lot of the stuff you use for crypto right now is siloed. You can only use the wallet for one game, or you can only use the exchange for EVM compatible tokens or whatever. You got to have 12 wallets. You got to have 26. You know what I mean? Like it sucks. But I'm a little wary about having their own token. So I'd be curious about that.
There's almost never a real need for it. And in that case, the cryptocurrency is used to fundraise. And I'm honestly not even like morally or ethically opposed to a cryptocurrency being used to fundraise if it's like advertised as that, but they never are. Yeah, because that would be wild. And if you want to donate money to someone's cause, then just support their Kickstarter. You don't have to. But
they do have some products.
That's fine. That's fine. But this is just my devil's advocate. Every single time I see one of these things, there is almost nothing on the list of projects in the grand scheme of things that absolutely need their token.
Agreed. What does your dad say about these AI projects?
We were talking yesterday, and one of the things that came up is he's doing a presentation. Oh, by the way, you will all be pleased to know I did convince him to come on the show. So we'll do that in a few weeks. He's got a whole bunch of stuff in the works for the next couple weeks and doing some stuff, and we'll get him on here.
My dad
probably on the night stream.
Yes, could resist.
Applicable. But he will be here, and the theme for that episode will probably just be talking shit about crypto. For anyone who doesn't know, my father has been a software engineer for as long as there have been software engineers. Actually, probably longer. And I'm not exaggerating. He's been there since the dawn. He has zero affiliation or personal bias towards any cryptocurrency. So the goal is to look at a bunch of altcoin websites and ask him questions about how much sense does this stuff make? Is this real? Whatever. He also has a lot of experience with AI. Also, since the beginning of AI is not new at all. That's kind of the core thesis of what I wanted to go over here, just based on the stuff we talked about yesterday. He's giving a talk at a school conference up at the university where he works, where I used to go, Northern Michigan. And the theme of it, or the topic is, it's all a bunch of software engineers, and it's just like, is AI coming for our jobs? And his core thesis is absolutely not. And he has obviously lots of data to back it up. For context, to my uncle, one of those guys he was my dad's roommate. I've known him since I was itty bitty. Was my godfather. He is the department head for computer science at, I honestly don't remember which university it is, some university in Colorado. Big deal. PhD in computer science with a focus in machine learning and artificial intelligence. Has been working on all these kinds of things for a very long time. None of this is new. So the example that my dad gave yesterday, which I had never heard of, but if you're a software engineer, then you've probably heard of this. He was telling me about this system or this protocol, this program called Emacs, which he claims he just lives in. Stands for editor macros, and it's basically just like I don't know. Someone help me out. Some engineer help me out. It's like a text editor that you can use to do all sorts of stuff. And there's an AI that lives in it, that's been in it for a very long time. It's all text based, but you can do pretty much anything in Emacs. Check your email, browse the web, do whatever, but all text based. There's no imagery of any kind. And inside of it right now lives this AI, which I'm putting in quotes, called Eliza, which you can also look up. There's a phenomenal Wikipedia page on both Emacs, EMACS, and also Eliza, ELIZA.
Eliza's
actually,
cool.
I keep forgetting that we have better screen share now.
We have the power.
We have the power. Here you go.
Yeah, if you bring it up, I'll share it here. Hang on, everybody. I'm taking you for a ride.
If you're over on YouTube, and Kai, we will be thinking about you and your family today for sure. Kai says his son has surgery today. Prayers are appreciated.
Thank you for reading that. We definitely will.
So this is Emacs. It's worth a read.
Alex? Why are you putting text heavy stuff up on the everyone on TikTok is like, oh my
don't worry about reading it. Just focus on, if you care to look this up. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. If you're interested, you're interested. If you're not interested, it's super dry. If you're curious, you can look that up. Emacs over on Wikipedia, and then there's a link in the very first paragraph or the second paragraph right there to Eliza if you want to learn a little bit more about that. My dad refers to Eliza as a TLM, a tiny language model, because it's pretty limited, but it kind of is that simulated conversation. You can sit there and open a text prompt with it, and say, I think the example that he used to kind of prove how limited it is just, I'm feeling depressed today. Why are you depressed? Because of this. And it just goes back and forth, and it can really only ask you follow-up questions. It can't think for itself. So it's think of it as like hyper limited ChatGPT. And it's not even a GPT. But anyway, his whole point was just that and Eliza has been around since the 60s. It's not new at all.
Got it.
And these large language models, I think that's one of the misconceptions about kind of AI in general. Nick, hit it with a hammer.
For everyone on YouTube, might have been the best comment of the stream. What do you do when your Tesla door handles freeze shut? Where does Nick come up with this stuff? Cry on it with your salty tears. The salty tears of Elon's rage against, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, rattle it hard enough and the whole door.
Gender identities.
Who knows? Whatever Elon is mad about.
I don't know. Yeah.
I've been derailed.
We're talking about Eliza and limited language models.
Yeah, just I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about AI is that it was invented this year.
Yeah. And that it's already ready to replace you everywhere.
Yeah. And my dad's, basic point was just here's an example of these things being relatively dumb. Here's an example of kind of how they have evolved and how they have progressed, but so have we, and so have lots of other things. About how it is extremely difficult. If someone you can write, my dad can write really good code using AI, but that's because he's way better at prompting it to do that, because he knows exactly how to talk to it. He knows exactly what to say, and he knows exactly how to correct it when it sends him something wrong. So yesterday he did an example with me where he just wrote a little piece of mermaid code, which is a language that you can use to make flowcharts, and then use that to turn it into JavaScript, and use that to turn it into a little functioning web app. And he did the whole thing in 4 prompts from absolute scratch. But if you read the prompts, they are very specific. And he, could correct stuff and fix whatever. But he was kind of testing out the new ChatGPT. Was it 01? The PhD in your pocket. And his response to, what do you say to people who say, well, now we don't need PhDs, we don't need engineers because I have this tool? He's like, okay, bon voyage. Go ahead. So there's your open challenge. Good luck.
Interesting.
But it was an interesting conversation, and we turned it to AI and crypto because, of course, I'm like, I would love to hear kind of what you think about Nick. I'm with you, Toyota, 100%. Most American-made truck in America. Fun fact. Built in Texas. Anyway, Nick, God damn it, the affiliation of AI and crypto, as it were, two things that don't necessarily need to go together, and especially not to just make special cryptocurrencies. Like, it's almost all marketing fluff because right now it's pretty much mandatory if you're releasing anything new in the tech space that it's AI enabled, and almost all of it is just using OpenAI's API to reskin GPT to do something specific. And that is the extent of it almost every single time. And the crypto angle I thought was really interesting. I wrote this down because it's hilarious. Well, I don't know. I think it's hilarious. We're about to find out how bad my sense of humor is.
Good luck. Cueing the laugh track.
Yeah, Evan, hook me up when there's nothing but crickets after this while I'm giggling to myself. Help me out with the laugh track. Yeah. So the question here was just about, as people advertise utility of their cryptocurrency, what does that actually mean? And how do we compare that, or how do we adjust that view of utility of a cryptocurrency when we also include AI in the whole thing? Because my dad's point was just right. And I just saw a lot of similarities between AI and crypto, the way that it's going. Just because, crypto is not, it's newer than AI for sure, but it's also been around for a very long time. In the grand scheme of things, this sort of methodology. Trading shitcoins is a very new practice. Slapping AI enablement, I might have just made that word up, into everything under the sun is also very new, even though AI is not new at all and has been around for ages, and is honestly nothing to be terrified of. It's not new. It's just more publicized now than it ever
Alex,
has
is
been
this the
before.
setup for your joke? Because it sucks.
I'm not making a joke. I'm just making a comparison. But yes, context is important, Evan. You know that better than anyone. And I just realized that crypto has the same utility as AI a lot of the times now when we talk about slapping AI enable into Adobe, into Salesforce, into whatever, right? Do we need it? No. But can you market effectively if your thing doesn't say something AI? No. So in crypto, when you're needing to convince someone that you have a utility, the utility is ultimately just, let's transfer a little bit more money from one section of the Web3 industry to a different section temporarily before we transfer it somewhere else, All these things are just money hops from place to place to place as we speculate on them to do something in the future. And they almost never do. And I just thought it was hilarious when I realized the tiny epiphany, the light bulb that went off in my head was that, wow, every single crypto does have a utility in the get somebody rich quick. That's the thing, right? How funny is it that ultimately what draws most people to crypto is the ability to invest in something with a small amount and turn it into a big amount very quickly in a short amount of time, with nothing else needing to be done, just a good guess. And of course, then you take that large sum and you bet somewhere else and you lose a bunch of it, which means that someone else made a bunch of it, which means that someone else lost a bunch of it, which means that someone else made a bunch of it, et cetera,
Right.
et cetera, on and on.
The
and on
velocity of money has
increased exponentially. Yes. And it was just funny because here I've been saying that crypto doesn't, most crypto tokens have no utility, when in fact they all have the same utility, which is just to increase massively the velocity of most people losing money while a few people get lucky.
Yeah.
And it was just a funny epiphany, because AI is very much the same thing right now, where you are not adding anything to the protocol to have AI. So I'm always hyper wary. The lesson you can pull out of this rambling pile of nonsense is I'm just very wary of anybody who's launching a cryptocurrency that tells me it's AI affiliated.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
100%.
the vast majority of them made a token that does exactly what every other token does. And then they included the OpenAI API on their website to have a GPT tell you something and called it a project that uses AI. And that's it.
I don't think it's a disagreement for me to say that, while obviously that's how a lot of crypto, a lot of AI is used right now. I think, and we've talked about this before, we don't have to get into it. I will absolutely die on this
I
hill
will absolutely die on this.
that crypto and AI need each other, and that the verification that only crypto can provide is something AI needs, especially in a world where the internet is giving velocity to information like money. We will need tokenized money, money that is resistant to double spending, resistant to forgery and fakery, and not just money, but the same velocity that crypto plus the internet give to our money will be necessary in a world where AI agents can transfer all kinds of information, faster than we can even think. I think it's going to be really important to verify who's a human, what their information is, where it came from, and when it arrives at its destination, we're going to need to be able to do that through trusted agents that only respond to us the way our private keys are only ours to use. I think crypto is going to add so much to AI in that regard, and that AI also, in turn, will enhance our ability to speed the velocity of information, all that stuff. So,
I would not disagree.
not
with,
Eagle AI in a word, but
No.
other stuff like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with no, Eagle AI is not special. It's just the newest
is
AI.
garbage.
It is the trash. Yeah,
Might have made some people rich though, like you said, that
Yeah.
it may have fulfilled that utility.
I'm sure, I have no doubt that Eagle AI has and will continue to fill the utility of getting a couple people money they didn't have before.
Shucks. Yeah.
At the same time that it fulfills the utility for more people of taking away some money that they did have before
And doing literally nothing else. Yeah.
no longer have. Yeah, no, it's just I don't disagree, Evan, with that marriage of the technologies. However, that is not the way that it's being used.
Yeah.
Almost ever right now. And of course, in the same way that I think we were talking yesterday about some of these new hardware devices, like the Sui handheld game console, Solana's handheld game console, these kinds of things being really cool in some respects and also a big bummer in other respects. The affiliation of AI with crypto right now just to sell different tokens to people is going to hurt the eventual meaningful integration of AI, because again, the coolest pieces, the coolest applications of Web3 to solve real problems that genuinely exist that can actually meaningfully use a blockchain to make them better are not the best investments, and they're not that interesting if what you are here for is to find a new investment class that you can use to make a bunch of money. And I want it to be clear, I'm not opposed to that. I think it's great, the fact that you can find new speculative things and you can make money that you didn't have before. I would never knock somebody for doing that, and I don't. I just want people to be upfront about what it is that they're doing here. And my proof of that is just that DAOs are straight up the most interesting thing that has ever come out of blockchain, in my humble opinion. That's my personal opinion.
I think though that any interesting thing that comes out, I don't disagree with you. I think that
Disagree with me, Evan.
I think that the way to make the most money though is to really get good at understanding what is the future going to look like. Nobody has a crystal ball, but the closer you can get to training your eye for what seems likely, inevitable, etc., and betting on that, someday one company is going to build an AI enabled, crypto piece of infrastructure that is going to be pretty much everywhere the way our cell phones and smartphones are. You know what I mean? The way GPT is.
Sure.
Somebody's going to build that. They're going to build it for all these things. And the ability to spot that is going to make whoever bets on it more money than almost anybody makes trading meme coins. Because one of them is like a skill you can acquire.
Sure.
And the other one is pretty much just luck, or like getting close to information, or doing a little bit of crime, which is an option.
It's always an option.
It's an option, but I just don't think those people are going to make as much money as the people who, you know, the analogy I always love to use is the Henry Fords standing at the horse racing track and saying, but wouldn't it be better if we did it with machines? And wouldn't the whole world appreciate that and seize the implications of that? Those people are going to be bajillionaires. Yeah.
So I think in an effort to respond to you, Evan, and also answer a question at the same time, Aztec asks, what exactly is AI? Just a program that does certain things or solves certain things faster? I'm excited because I can actually answer that question. And this is thanks to the way that my dad put it into perspective for me as I've been picking his brain about this kind of stuff. So AI, artificial intelligence in general, is thought of as being kind of this like mysterious, you know, cybernetic Skynet type of thing, right? That like wants to take over the world and as
a computer that can think for itself.
Yeah. How? Like what in practice, what does that mean and what does the evolution of it look like? So the way that my dad described it, he has on his desk, he has a sound mixer board. It's a board with like 38 knobs on it, and you can turn all of these little knobs to get a different outcome. You input something, you tweak all these little knobs to the perfect setting, and you get out what you want. Programs are essentially, you know, so you've heard the phrase input output. It's also what Charles Hoskinson named his company after. The idea of like something goes in, you have set some parameters to make sure that the result that you get is what you want. You do the same thing when you cook. You input ingredients into a bowl and you do something to them, and then you get something that you want. AI, as we all think of it, with like regards to ChatGPT, is just that same idea where you have this board with knobs and you can tune them to get out a result based on your input. You send a prompt, you've trained the thread, you've given it enough parameters to get out what you want based on what you gave it. The difference here is that the board we're talking about with regards to OpenAI and ChatGPT has 10 trillion knobs on it that can all be tuned to nanometers. And every time we evolve this, we add another trillion knobs to the board and make them even more tunable. And that's really what we're doing here. So the idea is that you're simulating the neural network of the human brain to give you the appearance of it thinking independently based on being able to do more things with the input that you give it. I want to be able to give it less and have it intuit more. If I tell Evan, if Evan and I have never met before and he knows nothing about me, we've never spoken, and Evan is a storyteller, and I tell Evan, I want you to tell the story of my life, he wouldn't be able to do anything with that. He might be able to look at me and like make a couple guesses. Okay, like, you know, I think that you're this, you're wearing a shirt that says this, you have a tattoo that says this, or does whatever. Like, I might be able to intuit a couple things about it. And that's all of Evan's trillion knobs in his head, able to take input and do something for the output. But the more information I give Evan, the better he can do that job. And that's what we're trying to do with AI as it evolves, is get closer and closer and closer and closer to being able to draw connections that we don't have to spell out for it. So ChatGPT, if I tell it that I want you to design me a logo for my morning show, it's, you know, might ask me a couple of questions. Okay, what colors do you like? What's the name of the show? Blah, 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 whatever. And use those to put a logo together. If I tell Kaio to design me a logo, I don't have to do all that because he knows more of it. He can intuit more things. He can draw more conclusions. He can remember those 4 things that he designed for me last year, which one I liked, which one I didn't like, and, you know, pull pieces of data out of that, put them into this. And it's just much more complicated thought process. So that's really like that's what we're doing here. That's what it is. We're trying to get closer to this. And the best example that I've ever heard about, because we had this conversation when I was active duty about AI and robots doing a better job flying aircraft than humans, and should our pilots be worried about their jobs, because in the Coast Guard, in the world of search and rescue, for example, pretty much every helicopter mishap that happens because of human error, not because of mechanical failure. That is almost never the cause. And so the thinking was like, well, wouldn't a robot do better, because you could just give it the set of rules and programs, whatever. But why would that be better? Why would that be worse? And that's where we've ended up with robot assisted humans in the cockpit of a search and rescue helicopter, because you can face a situation that you did not input as a prompt to that robot, that it has no idea how to handle and cannot handle. But the human can look on the fly, pull all kinds of different information from their whole experience and all the things they've ever heard and done, and make a reaction. And that's what AI is trying to do. It's trying to emulate and simulate that thought process.
I heard Rick Rubin say it as AI is good at processing, but
Yes.
humans are good at noticing.
Yes. That's good.
Humans have taste. We have the ability to see that the colors on this butterfly in this particular beam of sunlight would make a beautiful painting. AI, when we describe that, can make the painting quicker. I think that's a really great way to describe it, Alex. I love the analogy and the comparison to a human brain. And I love the comments that are coming in about, like, so basically all AI cryptos are shit. Unless they're using
Yes.
AI to do that kind of thing. Or unless they're using cryptography and tokens to add verifiability and security to that, so that, your agent, which moves faster than you could and could be compromised to deceive you, will only respond to you. That's a good use of AI in crypto. Unless
Evan,
people are doing stuff like that, go ahead.
Could you do the overview? Because I know that this is one of your, favorite talking points with regards to the meaningful use of AI with
Yes.
tokenization in general, just as kind of like the, things that are on the rise as being issues online.
Totally.
Deep fakes, AI simulated people speaking, videos, voices.
Yeah, this is tremendously important in our world right now. And then I have a hard stop at 8:30, so I want to do a quick preview of this Bitcoin U.S. Marshals getting dumped on the market, get our final thoughts, and we'll ride our dogs and ponies in the sunset. But
Sure.
what you need to know about the internet now is that as AI evolves, Alex's dad says, don't worry, AI is not coming for your job. But AI is evolving at an exponential pace. Right now, it's faster, more prevalent than ever. And already people are being scammed by all kinds of AI deep fakes. And it's not just generated images, although there are some pretty compelling generated images. I did a video the other day about an image generated to look like a sad little girl who was a victim of the hurricane in where it hit North Carolina. And all kinds of people, Kimberly showed it to me, were commenting on this picture, the valedictorian of her graduating class.
Yeah, in that same vein, there's another very big one that's circulating that is the Don in a life jacket, like wading through waist deep water, pulling someone to safety. That is I've seen so many TikTok live streams of people arguing that it's a real picture.
Well, and the thing is that whether or
good.
not it's a real picture is like one level of the importance of this literacy.
Sure.
But the other level is there are people who say, I don't care if it's real or not. It expresses something that I feel, whatever. It can be used. I had a mentor who used to say, all
Honestly, that's
information is
fair.
persuasive.
Honestly, that opinion is kind of fair. I would
It's
be
fair,
willing
but
to
it's just
defend
as
that.
scary.
Yes,
I think
it is terrifying, but it's fair.
It's because when people don't know what's real and what's fake online,
Mhm.
and the information still has an ability to impact their real world decisions. Most of our decisions are emotional. And the people who are able to proliferate messages that manipulate us emotionally through the medium of the internet, memes in a word, will become the most influential people of the future. And now that AI can assist them to do this, to crank out messages quickly, it is so important more than ever for people to be able to tell the difference between what is real and what is fake online. And we can no longer rely on our eyes to do it for us. We can no longer rely on our ears. We can no longer rely on screen names. You already see scammers that impersonate both of us all the time, every day, that look like us. I saw that deep fake of Blockchain Boy that was really, honestly convincing, even though I knew it was a fake. It looked like him. it sounded like him. Its mouth moved when his words moved. And what you will need in the future, why crypto matters so much for that, like this is a use case for crypto that has nothing to do with money. Crypto makes it possible to tell what a piece of information is, to verify that it is what it purports to be, that a token can certify not only that this is an official mug from the Rise Up Morning Show collection, distinct from another that looks exactly like it. It can tell you when that mug was created. It can tell you who has owned it previously. It can tell you all kinds of things. And it can establish a lot of that without you needing to observe information about me, the creator, or me needing to observe information about you, the holder. And in a world where AI can anticipate your next move and the next 50 moves you're likely to make after that and fire a bullet at all those locations, it becomes really important when you're online to know whether you're dealing with somebody who is real or fake, whether that's Vladimir Putin or a body double. Because the information can be used to persuade you to act, whether that is to vote, to love, to kill. And so you want to be able to make informed decisions. Crypto is going to give us the effortless certainty that only blockchain authorization can provide, that this is or that isn't true. We're going to need infrastructure for it, better infrastructure for it, but the technology exists right now that we can do it. Somebody said kill, LOL. I don't think it's a stretch. I think information has been used to manipulate people to hate people to the point of violence.
God, yes, absolutely, on a regular basis.
And especially when you think about the kind of information that exists that's public. Like if 9/11 happened again today and we were using tokens or we were using AI or the internet, just think of how easy it would be to find every citizen who is an Islamic person who worshipped in a mosque in the United States and to weaponize that data against them if you were a person who felt that prejudice. It would be
people have tried to do that all around the world.
Right. It's the story of history again and again. And we need once to be able to certify with a token somebody is a member of good standing in their faith community or somebody has this degree, but we also need to protect that information. We need to make sure it is up to people to share what they want to, so that others can't weaponize that against them. And crypto allows us to do that.
There's a monumental pile of examples of propaganda and misinformation being used to manipulate someone into violence.
Yeah.
All throughout human history, happening as recently as we speak, right now.
As last time I checked.
In Ohio. You can choose to ignore it or not care about it, but you don't get to say that it's not happening. Yeah, and Evan, to your point, one of the things I wrote down that I highlighted while you were talking there about the evolution progressing at an exponential rate of AI, that is one thing that my dad did talk about was, as you take these kind of more limited rudimentary models, and every time we make an advancement to them and they get better, you can use them more effectively for more things. So like we saw in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? You're prompting it with a question. It tells you, okay, I couldn't tell you. Give me 10 billion years. Come back in 10 billion years and ask it the same question. And, what is the meaning of life, the universe, and all things? And instead, it says, that, hey, what's the answer? 42, right? And when asked for clarification, it's like, yeah, well, that was a dumb question. 42 is the best answer that I can give you. But you could build a better computer. So using AI to prompt better AI is one of the things that is speeding up that exponential curve of evolution and advancement of the technology. That I always say, ChatGPT is the best prompt of ChatGPT. If you're struggling to get it to do what you want, just ask it how to get it to do what you want. I do that. That's the beginning of all of my prompts. It's like, I want this from you as if you are this. How do I make sure you do that the most effective way that you can? And it will send me a list of 16 questions that I have to answer. And then I give it all that information. It's like, got it. Here we go.
Yeah.
I don't need to waste my time. Like, that's the trick. You want to be a prompt engineer, just like figure out how to ask ChatGPT to prompt itself. Boom, prompt engineer. Talk about bullshit jobs that became really popular and made a lot of people a lot of money really quickly.
Yeah, man. And we missed all that pie.
Dude, I vividly remember jobs boards being full of requests, solicitations for six-figure salary positions as prompt engineers. Go look at the jobs boards now and see how many of those still exist.
I wonder, can we, just as a call for the show, if you know somebody who's a prompt engineer who is still working or who made out like a bandit while the getting was good, please send them our way. I would really like to talk to that person. If their job is in fact just talking to ChatGPT and doing it well, I would really like to talk to them.
I think though that the evolution, I do know someone, I don't know them personally, but I follow them on Twitter who did that. They've evolved the position into just being the ultimate AI tool guru to just make sure that their business like knows all of the tools to use and how to use them all effectively, which I think is okay. I don't think it's, worth six figures to just know how to Google new AI tools. But people pay for convenience, and it's very convenient to just have someone to handle all that for you.
In a world where affordable healthcare doesn't mean free, I don't think $100,000 is enough for somebody to take out the trash, frankly. Thank you very much. Devil King, you're going to have to tell us more about that.
Yeah, need story required.
Yeah, need stories. So I want to cover this Bitcoin question for Robert because it is a good question. Sure. And then solicit everybody to give their final thoughts, their good jokes, their words of wisdom. And remember that we're going to be live again tonight about 10 and a half hours from right now, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for Rise Up After Dark. We're going to have Icy, Web3 Gamer, give us thoughts on Off the Grid, lots of other gaming altcoins. You definitely want to be there for it. You can leave your suggestions in the Discord server if there are particular tokens you'd like us to cover. And then join us tonight. We're going to be live on all platforms. Again, I need to make the YouTube, but I will do that. And of course, we'll be back again tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time for more of your crypto questions. In the meantime, the question Robert asked was, are you concerned at all that the U.S. is about to sell $69,000 or 69,000 Bitcoin? What's he talking about? This is what he's talking about, Alex. The Supreme Court denied a certiorari petition, say that 3 times fast, in a Battleborn Investments case against the U.S. that's been going on for about 2 years now. It's Bitcoin seized from Silk Road. And essentially, this is the last roadblock before the government is allowed to, has the go-ahead to sell. They stole this from one individual. I say stole. They recovered it from one individual. But there are still a couple of other steps the government has to take. They can't just go out and sell it. And this is a hotly debated thing. Our friend in Congress, Ro Khanna, says, hey, we should talk about this. Let's add it to our strategic reserve of Bitcoin. The U.S. holds about 200,000 Bitcoins. They hold more than any other government. And that's a topic of much debate. But before they sell it, they are going to have to, they store it with the U.S. Marshals Service. Okay. They use cold storage. They use all kinds of stuff. And they have to notify when they are going to auction this Bitcoin. They sell it on exchanges most of the time. You can see that they're going to move the wallet. They put it on their website. They post a press release. And then registered participants who follow a certain strict set of anti-money laundering laws can participate in the auctions. They bid on the Bitcoin and then they transfer it following the auction. So it's like they got to collect payment. They got to verify it. They got to report on all of it every step of the way. And just for context, the U.S. government has, at various points in the last 5 years, I don't know if you know how much, Alex, or even have a ballpark, sold Bitcoin in this or similar amounts several times. This would not be, the liquidity for Bitcoin is deep. It might be a rough day for the market if all of it came on at once, but the likelihood that all of it is coming onto the market at once is almost zero. And the likelihood that it won't be absorbed by people who want to buy it is also almost zero. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a good or bad thing for the price of Bitcoin. I think it's more concerning that our government is able to get these Bitcoin tokens, which are trackable, and instead of returning them to their rightful owners, they're just going to say, no, it's cool. We'll hang on to these and then we'll sell them. That to me is more concerning. So I don't know what you think or what you would add, but did I hit it about right?
Yeah, just that if you're curious about this kind of stuff, or you'd like to look up, who's sold what, how much, when, why, if you just go to the U.S. Marshals website, and enter the search term Bitcoin, you will pull up all of the posts that they've made over it, including announcement of auctions, amount to be sold. As you can see here, there was a sale, there was a listing of just over 4,000 Bitcoin. This was back from 2020 from the Marshal Service. So if people are like, overly concerned about a large amount of Bitcoin being sold by the US government, I would just ask, what has happened since the last time they did it? Because it would not be the first time. It will not be the last time. And that's kind of one of the reasons that I'm constantly like trying to get people to calm down while they foam at the mouth about the whole let's make a Bitcoin strategic reserve for the United States and calling that like the ultimate crypto friendly policy. It's also a little bit funny that that's an active bill in Congress when, we legitimately kind of have one already. I think the bill in Congress is more about rebranding the pile that we have as like a specific strategic reserve versus just having a lot of it. But I think that's another misconception. That's another piece of like information that is not given to people properly without the proper context that is misunderstood. The US government has a tremendous amount of Bitcoin, and they've sold it before, they'll sell it again, and Bitcoin will persist because that's what it does.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, this would add, if they added it to their stockpile, this would be like equivalent to a quarter of what they have right now, a little more than that. So it's not an insignificant sum. And I would be concerned if that became government policy. The incentive it would create, like, when we confiscate, we add it to the reserve, the incentive it would create for them to confiscate more, or for somebody to make that policy for them to confiscate more, because that would be a tremendous source of power. I forget who his name is, but he's a former Department of Defense guy. I don't know where he served. He was the service member. But he has this really interesting theory about Bitcoin as an instrument of war in lieu of physical warfare. Alex, I feel like I've touched on this before, and I haven't unpacked it a ton, but do you know who I'm talking about? Have you heard about this guy? He's not a total crackpot, but it is sort of a marginal theory that he articulates well to talk about how, as the globe becomes more interconnected and we all depend on each other more and more, the cost of physical warfare increases. And that's why we see clandestine warfare, biowarfare, and eventually cyber warfare, energy warfare, things that don't directly involve like spilling someone's blood on a field, but kill them other ways, or exert power in other ways, soft power. And he talks about Bitcoin as a form of soft power in a world where it's going to be the most valuable currency. It's the hardest currency we have. It's going to be the most valuable. Governments are going to want it. Everybody's going to want it. And when people have power in the form of Bitcoin in a world where there's inequality and stuff, I mean, just imagine, people think the US is strong because we have a lot of nukes, and we do. But in a world where there is no more nuclear warfare because we all agree it's too dangerous and all the nukes are destroyed, imagine if one country had such tremendous control over a resource that we all use to make meaning about value. That would be powerful. So, it's like sanctions. I'll look into it. We can find out more about it, but that's my final thought. Keiko asks if we have an estimate on the time they'll sell those Bitcoin. No, we don't have an estimate on the time in the next year, but it will be something like Alex said. You can Google on the U.S. Marshal Service website. Just Google that. You can find it. And it will tell you we're auctioning this much. We're auctioning it on this date.
Here's the other thing to consider. The time frame on all this stuff is lengthy. These are not overnight decisions. We have an election in the United States in less than a month, and then we have another one 4 years from then, and then another one 4 years from then, and then another one 4 years from then. And I would love to just caution everybody again that a government who goes full bore, let's say the wildest dreams come true and you just get the most ludicrously crypto friendly president and all of it is great and wonderful. What happens when that one is replaced? If we don't have a bipartisan agreement between parties about the best way to handle this kind of stuff, like we do about many other things that we just sort of agree not to touch and futz with, it's honestly way more concerning that you could have a president who's like super gung-ho about hoarding Bitcoin And then 4 years later, that president gets replaced by another one who thinks it's stupid. And it's been just turned into this like fomented, ride the party line, hyper divisive issue. And then that one's like, I can't wait to sell all this crap. And then the next one's like, I'm going to buy it all back again. And then you just back and forth. Like, is that a world that anybody wants to live in? Because I don't. That's horrifying to me as someone who genuinely gives a shit about this industry. Which is why I'm not excited about governments holding Bitcoin. I don't know why we all suddenly decided that was like the thing we wanted more than anything, was like the US government that we all love to talk shit about. All of a sudden we need them to save our bags. Like, God, I just hate that so much. It's such a stupid line. It's just a line of thinking that makes absolutely no sense. In answer to an earlier question about how much ETH the US government holds, last I looked, it was around 50,000 Ether. Not as much capital as they hold in Bitcoin, but not an insignificant amount.
Alex, can I give my final thought?
Please.
Okay. My final thought is going to go to Aztec down below, who asks about passive income on Binance. And I assume he means Binance Network. I just want to let you know that what you're looking for, it sounds like, I don't know how new you are, how experienced you are, but for people at all levels of experience, the concept of earning passive income in crypto is part of a suite of tools called decentralized finance, aka DeFi. And DeFi tools, I would say, are level 2 or level 3 tools, because there are many different pitfalls you can avoid if you know a little more. It can be a very risky place to play. I would say if you're in the Binance ecosystem, the place you should go to start learning is to look up Pancake Swap. That's the tool you're going to use. And you should do an historical overview of that. Just do some Googling about the history of Pancake Swap. I would say the resource you need is to get in a community and hang out with people who've been doing DeFi before you spend $1. You don't need to make money here quickly. You need to make sure that you eliminate your risk by understanding what it is you are about to do. So if you're a new DeFi user, welcome. We have, for the month of October, 4 free courses that we've offered. One of them's behind us. One of them's coming this Sunday. Next Sunday, we are doing a course called How to DeFi. For the person who already has a wallet set up, who has already sent or received some money on the blockchain, who's curious about learning a little more about how this works, this is a level 2 sort of course where we're going to show you how to navigate through a DeFi protocol, how to connect your wallet, how to bridge, swap, lend, provide liquidity, stake for passive income. We'll talk about some different platforms where you can do that, the different kinds of risks you need to be aware of, the taxes, the fees, the slippage, the opportunities for scammers to get a hold of your money, and the things you need to be thinking about so that you can make the most, make a return, and get out the other side safely. That is going to be available through the Discord server. If you're not in the Discord server, it's discord.gg/riseup, and you can find that as well as all of our links at theriseupmorningshow.com. We've only got about 4 slots left for the live course this Sunday, but if it gets full, don't fret. Anybody can buy a recording. They're $15. If you sign up for a premium membership trial, you can get it for as low as $6. You can get the Web3 101 course. You can get this one about scams and schemes. You can get the How to DeFi course. All of it's available there. And we'll be continuing courses going forward. But for the month of October, we're doing them free. So
all free.
Definitely sign up for that. That's my final thought, is if you want to learn how to DeFi, check out Pancake Swap. But please do come to the course, because we would love to have you there. And we would love to have you in the community. There are lots of people who can help you navigate this stuff, not just us. Although, Alex, we are pretty cool. Like, don't you want to hang out with us?
We're so cool.
Yeah.
Hang out with us.
The people who go to the course will have access to the recording. Emily and Mia ask, I am sending out recordings today from the last course we did. It takes me a couple hours to process them, to get a transcript up and stuff like that. You're going to get the course recording, all of my notes, including this badass PDF that Alex made with a bunch of terms, a bunch of concepts, illustrations. You get a summary of the notes, and then you get the full video recording that's got like closed captions and everything. So you can watch it as many times as you want. Plus, if you're in the Discord, you can just ask me a question. Evan, I got the recording when you said this. What did you mean? And I'll answer you. It's a killer deal. Like I say, the only thing missing is you. So, Alex, what's your final thought? Good joke, suggestion, question, word of wisdom.
My final thought is that might be an unpopular opinion, but burning tokens meant to do something is counterproductive and a marketing gimmick, and don't be fooled by it.
And that's just bullshit.
Hell yeah, man. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. If you are learning crypto, you're not sure how to do it, you feel like you're drinking from a fire hose, you're in the right place. This is the Rise Up Morning Show, and we will be back tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for Rise Up After Dark. And then we will be back tomorrow for more helpful news, commentary, answers to your crypto questions. Until then, my friends, thank you for being the best part of our show. Rise up.